So today we're going to a planet all by ourselves to refine a lot of sand using the best digging tool ever created, a gun. So we just shoot the ground a few times and you notice that it's leaving a whole lot of sand behind. So what we do is we grab a chunk of it and then we bring it over to the water and then we just dump it. So instead of it being sand, it is now wet sand. Once we do this, we just shake it back and forth a couple of times and you notice that it's leaving behind gold in our hand. So we bring that over to the cell box right over here, drop it in, and now we're collecting gold. And it's also leaving behind a whole bunch of slag on the surface, which I guess is containing the water in a weird way. But we just do this a couple more times, that didn't yield nearly as much. But now we have a decent chunk of gold in our inventory, which is enough to go into the tech tree and get some refining so we can unlock shakers. We just place a couple of these down, do the same rinse and repeat with the sand in the water, but then we can drop the wet sand onto the shakers and then it'll shake out the wet sand for us. So we can start to automate things. Now the next thing it wants is logistics, which costs $50. So we're just gonna be dumping wet sand into there a whole bunch, and thankfully the slag rolls off on its own. Let's remove the slag from this water first of all, and then just shoot the ground a few more times to loosen up a bit more sand here. And why don't we just dump a whole bunch of sand into the little pond right there, which is causing a very weird mountain with the slag. I really don't think that's how that works, but it's hilarious. So we just go ahead and dump a whole bunch of this as we do. Although some of it is falling outside of the area, so let's just pick that up and then put that in there. And as long as most of the gold ends up in the cell box, we should be okay. But also, I think we're doing too much because the wet sand is starting to roll off of there too. We can't let any of this go to waste. So before you know it, we have $65. And logistics lets us get conveyor belts and launchers. Should be fun. Oh, and the next upgrade is guns for 500. So we're gonna need to expand our operation quite a bit here. So the first thing that we can do is expand this cell box here to encompass all of the little shaker things there. Delete these, put a few more collector tiles in there. And now the shakers cover pretty much all the area. Although some wet sand still escaped over there, but now we have access to conveyor belts. So we set a couple of these going that way, and then the wet sand can just be piled on there, so it can all sort itself out. Although it seems to really slow down when it actually gets to the shaker. So why don't we reevaluate this? So the conveyors are a little bit above the shakers, so they can fall onto it. That should work better. Get a few more materials here to set things up. Digging under the lake. I'm not sure this is a good idea. I know some ants tried that once and it didn't end very well for them. But we can do this a little bit, get us some more material to work with. And a nice pile right here, so we can set up some launchers. Launch elements upwards. And we can create a column of them to create a vertical conveyor lift. So you go right up like so. It brings the wet sand up for us and then dumps it onto the conveyor belt. That is beautiful. Now we're starting to automate our process even better. And we could definitely use like smaller launcher piles just to bring stuff. Whoa, a little overshooting there, aren't we? So maybe not as tall, but just enough to bring it to the main conveyor lift, or at least start to, pile it up right there. That should work. And the wet sand down here should not be left behind. Now we're back to the money amount that we had before. Although the slag pile here is getting pretty tall and the water level, I think, is dropping. So at some point we probably have to move our operations since this water source is kind of finite. But for right now, we can still move a whole bunch of wet sand up here and let the slag pile just continue going as it is. We might need like a trash bin for this stuff. This is bedrock right here. Can we get through this? Nope, we cannot. So what if we just establish this as like a dumping ground? Or we go over here and just set, whoa, hello. There's a giant lake for us to use. But I think over here can be a decent garbage area for all the slag, since I'm not sure what to do with it otherwise. Just make sure this wet sand doesn't get caught in the process. And then we set a lift for the slag to be thrown up and onto here. That should work really good. Beautiful, it's working flawlessly. So the slag gets brought down here. It looks like some wet sand is having a bit of runoff, which is not good, but we are still collecting a good amount of money and our trash bin is working amazingly. Plus, if there is something else we can use the slag for later, we know where to get it. But why don't we just drain this pond as much as we can? We're here to make money. Who cares about the environment? Although it definitely seems like we could use an extended process in case some wet sand does make it through. So maybe a duplicate of this setup that can catch wet sand that somehow makes it through the cracks. But either way, I think our pond is almost done. It's honestly at the point that it's below the launchers, so we're gonna have to move this up to the conveyor belt ourselves. And this little cave area I dug out is about empty too. So I think it's time for us to move our operation. We can just leave this here as kind of like a reference and leave the slag pile where it is. Just move things into the conveyor manually a little bit. And it looks like the money is actually reaching up above the collecting blocks here. We have some gold that's peeking up above the surface. So we can just set a row of collectors right there and that solves the issue. We have 200 so far out of the 500 to unlock guns 1. But we also have some other objectives here. Like hover to... Okay, easy enough. We activated no clip, but I guess we also need to find some fluxite and artifacts. Oh, and there's something purple under the ground there. Could that be an artifact or fluxite? Not sure, but we can't get to it right now. So that's probably what we need guns for. And there's also the same bedrock thing over here, which is interesting. And there's ice there, some crackstone here. Can we get through this? Nope, but right over here is the same dirt that we could get through, so down we dig. With a weird little tunnel right there too, that we can't get to. But we'll just dig out a good area for this. Just processing an entire planet here. Okay, so while we dig, we can set up a launcher to reach out of this tunnel to push the sand that way. Hopefully it reaches the lake. It's got a bit of a buildup, so why don't we build a conveyor just to go that way? That should work better. Put all of this on the conveyor, so now it reaches into the lake. Although, more so on the side. I'm not sure if I like that. Also, I'm immune to conveyor belts. You do not move me. I'm the juggernaut. Oh, let's get the wet sand a bit more central, I think. Or at least away from the edge. We need a set of shakers to go like so. And then maybe line this up properly. Oh, and I guess we use the fluxite to unlock upgrades, so that's gonna be helpful. But let's see, the conveyor needs to go this way. And then a row of shakers. Over a little set of collector blocks, all like this. That was very satisfying. And then after that, it all gets conveyed to maybe another set of shakers because there was wet sand that made it through in the last batch, but not too much. So this should be enough to also shake out over this and then down and around. And then we create like a little bucket here for the elevator or the vertical conveyor to launch it up and into the slag pile here. I think this should work. And then we just need a big row of the stack or the elevators right up here in the wet sand. So it goes up and out and over onto the shakers. The slag gets pushed out because the slag is always on top of things. Starting to collect gold there, very nice. And sure enough, some of the wet sand is making it through, but when it gets to the next set of shakers, it gets shaken out. We have a working production here. And then the slag gets thrown into the thing. This doesn't even need the conveyor. Well, I guess it does a little bit. We might as well keep it there. Hopefully this bucket doesn't overflow. Why don't we set a couple other stacks of blocks here, just to close it all out. Very nice, although I worry this is gonna fill up pretty fast. We'll deal with that when it happens. Now it's time for some more shooty digging, which I guess means that we're gonna have to replace the throwers even more because we just keep digging deeper. Let's see, can we do it from the top down? Oh, yes we can. Beautiful, so as long as the tops stay where they are, this should work. And we have $500. Upgrade my guns. Upgrade my guns. There we go. Unlocks gun. I thought I had a gun already, but now we have some other things that we can get. Tools 1 and refining 1. I'm sorry, a flamethrower? Woo! What do the gun do? It shoots. It's a little explosive too. Can this mine out things like the bedrock? Nope. What about the crackstone? Not that either. Maybe it just works better than the normal digging tool. Well, this is as good a time as any to test it out because our mining operation has weakened a little bit. Okay, it's not digging, but it's revealing a little bit of the fog of war, which is interesting. And there is also this interesting little chute area here. Can the gun get through this? Or can we get through this? Okay, we can shoot down in that, so it's not solid. But I still have no idea what that's about. Well, either way, let's... Whoa! Oh! Well, this revealed quite a bit. Is that some more ice down there? There's frostbed and sure enough ice. We're revealing a few more of the mysteries of this planet, but hopefully we can find an artifact soon. I also think we need to set up a few more launchers and stuff to get every bit of sand over here because, whoa, hey, water. Wow, that's fun. And the water doesn't move, but now we're moving some wet sand into even more water. Interesting, found a little thingy of water. Which also, what is this stuff? Moss? Can't have use for that. Get rid of it. Not worried about green stuff, worried about gold stuff. I'm the only green stuff I need. I also think it's funny that the water doesn't get launched. And I guess we are kind of just pushed this way because of the stone that we can't get through, since the gun doesn't really do much. Why do I have a gun? Oh, it actually does work. I didn't realize it was an automatic gun. Even better. And as we continue going deeper, we just keep expanding our mining operation, getting through all the rock and stone that we can find. I'll also maybe probably create a hard stopper just so the sand doesn't flow off the back end there. Although I can see the water level out here getting pretty low as well, so hopefully we can get the chance to process ice here pretty soon. But also, do we have enough to unlock things? Oh, we can do the tools, which also vaporizes water. I don't think I want to vaporize water, but there's also filters for 100. I didn't realize that was that cheap. But since we're so close to refining 2 already, I'll probably save up for that, just because it lets us get rid of all the slag that's building up there. That is a lot of slag. Maybe we should quit slagging off and actually work for a change. But now launchers go down like that, and then we probably just mine out. Whoa, whoa, we found a cave. Well, this should change things. Also, is that lava? It's sand soil, but it's orange. I don't know if I like this. The bedrock is funky. There's a flux site. Oh, amazing. Can we dig this? We can dig this. Okay, but let's set up a network to collect it and catch it. So conveyors go this way, and then this go up like that. Conveyor go over. We'll probably just mine out all of this weird earth mushroom here. Oh, so the gun kind of lets you see through things. So this is full of water. Wow. Now I wish we could move water. We can't even pick up water. But it is also halting our operations, so it's all gonna go away anyway and flow down into whatever's happening there. And thankfully our buildings are immune to gun as well. So this should bring up the flux site up to there, although I'm not really sure what to do with it. We did find it though. So let's just dig out some of this. Like, whoa, it releases a vapor. Oh, and we just collect it? Hold on. Upgrades. So now we have upgrades. We can upgrade tools and we can upgrade weapons. I think having more material information is gonna be better right now, but hey, we also have $1,000. Refining 2. Yes! And then there's guns too as well. A rocket launcher and refining 3? Planter boxes. Cool. Is this how we can recycle water maybe? Or there's pipes. Probably need pipes. Unlock that, and then pipes, pumps, and liquid vents. Yeah! Alright, but let's get the rest of this flux site since it seems like we just collect it anyway, and it doesn't actually get conveyed. So it's just kind of like a stain on the world. But now we can upgrade the material scanner to maximum, and then we don't have enough for anything else. And now we can see things like being able to mine through this. And the ice, we need heat for that. And the crackstone, we need explosives. So that's why we need the rocket launcher. This is a fun little system we have here. Let's just make sure none of this is left behind, but let's also return to the surface so we can start to process that slag. Let's see what's going on here. So there's our slag press, and we need to drop burnt slag on a soaker from great height to refine it into gold and spores. There's spores now. Okay, hold on. So we do this, and that is quite an elevation there. Do we just drop slag onto it? That does nothing. So we need to heat the slag first. I guess that's why we need the flamethrower, but that can't be our only source of heat. Maybe if we go deeper, we'll find lava, because it is turning orange right here. Why don't we investigate a little bit? Oh, there's an arrow there. Okay then, and there's an arrow this way? Where are you trying to take me, game? Might as well shoot a bit and find out. Whoa, hello. Is that a door? Is this a door? Mystery. Well, we can dig through it. Let me in. Let me in. Okay, yep, we dig through. Whoa! Wow! Is this ice? It's water. Oh, this is cool. And it leads up into, the crackstone's like a shortcut there. Whoop. I may have made an oopsie. Can I not swim? Okay, I can get out over here, but there's like something that's like sucking me down. Like I can't jump that gap. And the hover also gets pushed down. Is that the frost bed? That might be the frost bed. Can I build conveyors at least to bridge this? Or maybe just blocks to bridge this? No. How do I get through this? Probably from upgrading the jetpacks, we need more fluxite. Okay, but we'll keep an eye on this place. So there's secrets. Very cool. But the other arrow is going that way, so we can't go more this way. Are we taking out this entire tunnel here? Or this immediate area? It seems like it. Might as well connect all this as best we can. Can't let any dirt go to waste. But I wasn't expecting secrets in this game. Now I want to explore. But if we do explore, it'll be for the good of whatever company we represent. Maybe we're our own person. Maybe we're that one dwarf that's like, I'm gonna start my own company and show Deep Rock how it's done. Maybe we should see how the water is doing up top. Oh, we also have a lot of money, I didn't realize. So now we can get tools. Flamethrower. So the frostbite actually can't get melted, but let's go up top and try this flamethrower on the slag. I also kind of just want to torch the vines here a little bit. Pew! Oh yeah, it's burning. It burns very nicely, and then it spreads. Hopefully we don't start an underground fire. Not even sure how that would work. Oh great, but now our slag is overflowing yet again. So great timing on this. Okay, so with our flamethrower, we torch the slag a little bit. Oh, and it burns. And there's the burnt slag that's left behind. Hopefully we don't need these vapors, but that might just be a self-sustaining burn pit. Like that one pit that's, I forget where it is, but it's just been burning for like 50 years or something like that. Although, since our thing is over here and we're kind of done over here, we could scrap all of this and then set up the collection pit for that burnt slag. I think that can work. As soon as we know what to do with it, and we'll see if this is a self-sustaining burn pit. There is some slag that's left behind, and it stopped burning, but it really reduced the pile here, so that's nice. Okay, so the press was like this, so it needs to go up and then get dropped down? Am I reading that right? We pick up some burnt slag, start at the top. Ooh! Okay, I guess it needs to be brought through the whole thing before it can get processed into more gold. There's also spores left behind. So I think this is where we use the filters to allow, allow only selected through, or block element, allow everything else. So if we allow gold through and set that up underneath like this, then everything else will be moved away while the gold falls into a collection bucket here. And we'll probably need a big one because there's a lot of slag to get through. So blocks go down and over like so. So the gold should pass through this, and sure enough it does. Although it does scooch a little bit, which is interesting. And hopefully this vertical conveyor just takes things from the bottom without moving slag that's on top, because that would be weird. And sure enough it is moving slag that's on top, which I don't appreciate. It's also not moving nearly as much as I would like it to. Although, let's just nuke this for a little bit. Still not quite sure what to do with the spores. Let's just make a bucket for them right over our old spot. And then after the main conveyor, this can just be a normal one, I think, for the spores. Since I think this works a little faster, I might be wrong there. But now we have a bucket of spores that we can figure out what to do with later. But now this should be a self-sustaining process for the slag. Although we're gonna have to come up here and burn it at some point until we get like another refining thing maybe that has a burn thing. Until then, we just take our flamethrower, blast that a little bit. Oh, that didn't quite reach. Need to get a little bit down and then burn the slag from time to time, so it all gets turned into burnt slag. And now we can set up the giant thing here. But also probably setting this up so the burnt slag makes it a bit farther than the middle there. Move all this up and over there. And now the regular slag can flow back to the pit as normal. Oh, but there's also a bit of a backup that's happening. Why though? So it gets blocked a little bit and then it doesn't work? Interesting. There's also no way for this to move any other way. Okay, need to stop things for a little bit. So sure enough, the burnt slag needs to fall the entire way to get processed here, but it had a little bit of a backup, it seems like, which is weird. So it might be difficult to just move large amounts like this, but as long as it's a trickle like this, then it should work. And it is working really well. Look at all the spores that are being shuffled off there. We are collecting so much money just off of the slag. Wow. I wasn't expecting slag to be such a profitable business strategy. You can see the pile of money that's being created. This is gonna overflow soon. I need to spend it. Tools 2? Sure, vacuum. Oh, and there's tools 3? A cryoblaster. So there is lava that we can do things with, but I'm still not sure what to do with the spores though. Maybe more will be revealed once we do these other objectives like melt ice, vaporize water, which there is ice over here that we can mess with. So we go right up here, blast that, and sure enough, whoa, hey, a thing opened up. Let it rain, steam becomes rain when it reaches the sky. Oh. So if we vaporize the water here, it all goes up, and then when does it rain? Does it just rain in this one spot? Whoop, yep, sure enough. So it might be a good idea to just cause some of this to rain right here. Vaporize some of this water as we're standing in it, or create our own hot tub. But then what happens? Does it fill up more or just the same? Not too sure, but there is more exploration than we can do down here. So let's open up the door. Woo, did we just find a steam reactor? Hold on. Why does this look nuclear? And the bedrock is capping that. Stop the cap, bro.
Stop the cap.
Oh, wait. That's like a filter. Hold on here. Let's torch it. Torch it a little bit, torch it a lot. The steam moves through. It goes up and out there. And then that's more water for us. But where's it gonna flow? Right back down where it was. This is a very weird science experiment. But if we set up blocks like so, then we can run it all to the main thing here. Oh, I like this. And there's a huge reservoir of water here. So let the torching commence. Or is that gonna be what's behind here is like lava or something? Hopefully it's nothing bad. Maybe we shoot it first to see what's behind there. Okay, it just keeps going. There's fluxite. Is this what this is? Fluxite? Yeah, beautiful, more upgrade materials. For free. Oh, but that's flowing back into here. Is the rain flowing back into the thing like I wanted to? That really fills up there in the steam shaft. I guess we need a bigger ramp here to catch everything. Oh, it's leaking. Well, that's an issue. Make that double thick. There, now it's flowing the way it should. No more leaks. And our pool is filling up, yes. So let's vaporize this water as well, so we can get all of that goodness. Or at least most of it. And sure enough, this just fills up. So we need something to put down here to like keep this boiling. And also figure out where the fluxite goes. And maybe just vaporize all this water so it doesn't keep overflowing like this. Really glad our flamethrower is infinite. Although still haven't seen any lava and we're still kind of a bit a ways from whatever this is. But let's keep digging down here after we clear out some of these other... Whoa, whoa. Oh wait, that stuff burns. I didn't realize that stuff burned. How far is it gonna burn? Oh my goodness, we're finding even more chemistry sets. Also, what is that? Is that an artifact? No, it's just more fluxite. But you just keep burning there, and I'm not sure I should be standing here. I feel like this is gonna end very badly. Did I just light a fuse? I'm just gonna stand here in case I need a quick escape. Okay, it's going down now. Still kind of nervous about this. No, oh my gosh, it just keeps going. Is it going down to where that arrow is? I forgot about that. And there's an arrow that keeps going that way too. Oh, I think we just found more fluxite. We did. Okay, so it actually stopped. So we dig a little bit. Oh my goodness. The purple mist makes it a little confusing what's happening here. Is that supposed to be like a rune? What in the mysteries am I finding here? But now we can continue going through here. Although, this is quite a bit here. Can I reconnect over there? Can we get up to whatever this is? I don't even know what that is, but I wanna see it. Just, woo, okay. Found another little cave, and we're up like this. Oh, we can't reach that? Is that just a light? It's casting a purple glow off of everything. I think that might just be a light. Interesting, but now I don't know what to do with this water. There's ice right over here. I guess frostbed, which we can dig through? Oh, we can dig through this. I didn't realize. So if we do that, then that just dumps out ice, which freezes the water. And oh, that's what that little chute is. So if we connect to it like this, do a little thing with the blocks here, just to close that off, we can bring all the water that's here up to the surface there, which I don't know where that water is gonna end up, but it's gonna be better than down here. Melt it all. Even as it starts to collect there. I kind of forgot about that. Can the steam even escape through here? Might need to open this up a little bit more. Or can I? Come on, get through there. Maybe just dig a direct shaft right there. There, now it's escaping. Although, not really sure what impact that's gonna have on our operation. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. But we also got snow here that we should be able to melt. Sure enough, that works very nicely. Okay, so some of it is making it back into there. Hopefully it's not ending up anywhere else. So, interesting little spot there is interesting. But I wanna keep going this way. The arrows are pointing somewhere. I need to know where. I don't care how buried in sand I get. So we go this way from the arrow, which is getting closer to that fluxite there. And we also got little frostbed bits, but we can get all the way to this fluxite. Beautiful. And now the arrow here, it do go down, and then over this ways to the frostbed vein. Whoa, even more things that need explosives. And we need $3,000 to unlock the rocket launcher. So back to the surface with us, I guess. We do kind of get access to that as well through here. Do I like that though? I don't know if I like that though. But why don't we assess the water damage to our production over here, which thankfully looks like none because there's a free shoot to the sky like this. And I think we do need a few more vertical conveyors this way to continue dumping this towards the middle, which is making a very interesting arrangement, I will say. We might need conveyors to push it like this as soon as it all gets cleared. And the conveyor might work better than these launchers anyway. So we're just moving entire piles at once. But it's so satisfying. Oh, and the gold is actually heaping right now. Well, that's a problem. Gonna need a bigger collecting bin here, which I guess we might have needed anyway because of how much money we need. But all this gets transferred like that. Very excellent. I love the little pitch down it does. But now all the gold, whoa, we just killed the sound effects. That was a lot of gold shifting at once. But it all comes back, and we're able to collect even more gold. But now the slag is completely filtered, so it's only the normal stuff that's here. So our slag filtering system actually is working flawlessly. But now the spore thing is about to overflow as well. Really wish I knew what to do with these. There's wet spores that we get that are just kind of there, and we can't do anything with them. But also, this over here looks just like the chute on the other side. So I wonder if there's like another vent thing that's down there. I also haven't even explored what's at the top of this mountain. There might be something good, or it's just a sheer face that goes up into the heavens. And I think we hit the top actually. All right, little exploration was fun. Why don't we wait on the slag processing until we figure out what to do with spores? And then continue going down through this. And actually, since we're here, let's see if we can get through this little area here. Nope, never mind, it's still too much. Weird gravity things doing gravity things. But it's time to continue processing, which if we need water, we know where to get water now, which is good. There's more fluxite coming through here. Just, whoa, hello cave. And that is a wall of ice. Well then, let's have some fun. Is this just a wall of ice that's through here? Okay, it opened up into a little cave with even more icy bits and frostbed bits. Is this leading back to that other area? It might be, because we're back in sandstone now. More fluxite is always good. Creating a weird snake pattern. You're the snake, anyone? But also I can see that right up there. Need to get to it. There's also hints of a light. Do we go towards the light? But also, whatever that does, is this where the steam should go? I would like to explore more of this weird little chute thing, but I don't know if I can. But either way, I think if we dig all of this out, then we can get a little bit of water going up to the surface on the other side here. Maybe, that's a big maybe. But here, let's just melt the rest of this ice wall. So we have quite the sizable reservoir right here. And the other thing too is that this has created a lot of sand that we could honestly just make into wet sand and then push up through here regardless. So why don't we draft a conveyor belt through here, going kind of that way, and then we can get all this moving up to the surface as is, right after we, you know, clear this out on the top layer. So now that all moves through like that, honestly might as well just mine this out that's right here. We could shorten this, but I kind of like the back and forth that's happening right now, plus I don't want to redo it really. And the steam is still kind of stuck here too. Well, I'm sure that'll be fine. Although this is mostly still falling back through here, so I guess we gotta redo this little block. The problem is the bedrock is kind of stopping this. And I really don't want to do this one piece higher, but I feel like I have to. So, fine, the whole thing like this, which also just kind of limits us right now. Okay, so maybe the conveyor doesn't go as far, and then we can still get through up here with a little bit of a mining operation, which also does push the steam up there. Okay, but now stuff is able to get kicked up and out of there, so all of you can still make it to the surface and be free and live out your dreams of being processed into gold. Or that's just my dream for you, but it's a dream and I'm gonna follow it. And the water here is another interesting issue that I'm honestly not sure how to figure out first looking at it. Oh, but there is some spores down here. Interesting. Well, let's just try to move all the sand first with some nice little blocks there. Or maybe we don't need all that. We still gotta pass through this after all. And then you can just get, I don't know, pushed up and out like you do. Probably not gonna hurt anything. Or we just turn it all to water. Or whatever happens to it. It's getting melted, so I don't really care. As long as it's cleaned off the conveyor belt. And I guess we can flamethrower through the conveyor belt too, I didn't realize that. But now we just have a whole mass of sand that we're pushing. Oh, and I guess there's a flux site down here too that we need to get rid of. Easy enough. And let's just do that so the sand can flow a little better. Not that it really moves anything, but it can still get down to the conveyor belt a little bit. And all of this sand, once it reaches the surface, should get us the amount that we need. But also, why is there like little bits that are going here? I guess because we need a little bit of assistance down here, which these tiny little corner blocks, I don't think matter too much. But it also kind of doesn't matter that it reaches this far down. So let's just convert this to a block if we can. And then clean up everything down here, which actually cleans up itself pretty nicely. So now that we've cleaned up a few of the kinks in the pipeline here, it looks like we have enough money to get our rocket launcher really soon here, as soon as everything moves through. But also this conveyor belt's getting backed up. We're moving a lot of sand up through here. And I think it's time to revisit our slag pile because that is filling up an insane amount, which I guess we also can just stand in it. I didn't realize that was a thing, but I think we can also just redecorate that to be a conveyor belt. Clean up that pixel there. Whoops, not through the dirt, through the containment thing. Up like that. Although maybe we don't need to revisit it because it's still so full. Still have no idea what to do with the spores though. But because we're about to process a bit more slag, let's just extend the collecting pit here. Just like so. Oh, those sand physics are so fun. Like, y'all remember a little browser game called like Dust or something? That you could like set a bunch of little powders and have them explode and it was super trippy looking? That was fun. Good old Java engine. Either way, let the slag burning commence. I really want to see how much gold we can make off of this, but also that box is filling up here, so we're actually starting to lose gold rather than earn it because it's on the collection things. Oh, and I guess some water ended up down there too. Oh, and the burned slag was actually still burning going up here. So it's burning the slag that's on the belt. Oh, that is crazy. But now we're able to process it. And then before we get too overwhelmed here, let's go ahead and buy guns 2 for the rocket launcher. And there's guns 3, not available in demo. Aw, yeah, this is a demo. Okay, planter boxes, that's probably what we use the wet spores for. So maybe we can get that next. I also totally forgot about the pipes, and here I am trying to make steam happen. But it also looks like we need to replenish our water. So it's time to just burn a whole bunch of this. This'll probably deplete the reservoir a fair bit, but I bet the planters might help us get like a greenhouse effect going on, as all the beautiful steam is turning into water and then trickling down into here. Excellent. But now that we have the rocket launcher, right here, shoot a hole with rockets. Oh, I guess there's a vacuum. I didn't realize it was an inventory thing. Okay, I didn't realize how much steam we made. This is filling it back up almost to full, which I guess this might be like a weird sort of like spillover area, which is cool, I guess. Okay, but the vacuum, it looks like is it pulling or pushing? It's pulling. So we get the little flecks of sand out of there, but now we're actually right next to some crackstone here. So let's go ahead, pull out the rocket launcher, maybe get ourselves a little bit of distance. Not sure if this will do damage, but shoot. Okay, that is very slow, but that broke through the crackstone. So we're able to get over here, which also has this little chute right here. So they might all connect. Let's flamethrower this and then let the steam show us where it goes, which is probably just up and out. Either way, this is a very fun little natural pipe system. And is there anything really worth it over here? There's some more of the stuff that we could break through. As we are kind of locked in here now, this might have been a mistake, but we can still get out through there, so I guess it's not too much of a mistake. Anyway, we're breaking through stuff here. I wonder if this will lead to one of the artifacts, because that's actually the only thing left. Whoa, hello. Yeah, number 1. We have found an artifact. Zorvix 22. Hopefully that's not a bad thing, but that worked out really well for us. And then I bet the other artifact is somewhere over there. But why don't we go ahead and break this stuff out and process more sand? And also let the steam vent a little bit. Oh, and found some more flexite as well. Excellent. I really love that I can just send the sand away to be processed and not have to worry about it. Goes to show our system is amazing and flawless and perfect as we just move an entire mountain of sand through here. Yeah, this will backlog quite a bit, but it's worth it. And I'm sure there's nothing over here. Let's go back to the other side of the world, because there was also that other crackstone thing that we could blow up. And the best part is, even though there are spores in here, that's all gonna get moved through to the spore pile anyway. We're just gonna give the slag another nice little torching, which is also gonna burn the stuff on the conveyor belt. I love that so much. Even though it's not nearly as fast as a conveyor belt, it still is looking pretty. But back to business. Oh wow, yeah, we actually drained most of this to fill that up. Wow. Which means we probably should break into this if we can, but first we'll break through the crackstone. And away it goes, a boosh. All at once, amazing. And now we dig through this. There's artifact number 2. Yes, we found both artifacts, which is also the end of the demo. Oh, our sand factory works so well. And there was other stuff that we probably could have done with these spores, but we can figure that out in the main game if you guys are interested. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look at Sandustry. What a fun little game. I absolutely love the pixel like sand physics every time. And make sure you guys let me know if you do want to see the full game. And thank you very much for watching. Sub to Intern. And I would like to thank the channel members, including Bread, Corby Farm, Dakota, Donamoto, Deviant X, Ancient Elixir, Matthew, Haple Harold, Peggy Sue, Drupalong, Lily Bites, The Miner Within, DeGarity, Sands, V, Killer Squad, Mousy Mouse Nicholas, Igor Shradi, Mikano Chan, and Liam.